Hi everyone, welcome back to the Breadcrumbs Project, and thank you so much for all the support and all the help that you have given me this week. It's been amazing. What a ride. I don't have much time because I'm about to go live, but thank you for all the support. Thank you for the massive amount of subscribers that have come onto the channel, and I have material coming up today that will not disappoint you. I wanted to make a better produced video, but I just don't have the time to produce it and compile it and then go live. It'll be a waste of time, so I'll do a better produced video tomorrow. It just, if anybody, most of you guys are YouTubers, so you know how much time it takes to shoot, then the editing process, which is time consuming, and then compiling the video is massively time consuming. So I'm going to do an excellent video tomorrow, and I'm not going to keep it a secret. I'm not going to bury or tease the lead here. One of our commenters left a video of the of Venus in the sky, and apparently Venus has phases. And the YouTuber, again, I'm going to leave a link in the comments section below, as I always do, not in the comment section, but in the show notes. And this Twitter user did a shoot of Venus with his camera, with his DSLR, a Canon 1000, I believe. I'm not sure what it was, nor a Nikon. It was a Nikon, and he got close to it, and you could see a perfect white crescent. It almost looked like the moon, but it was far brighter. And the crescent of the moon has one slight look, but this crescent had a very unique look, and it hit me immediately. That looks like the crescent of Islam, the Muslim crescent. So I went and looked up the Muslim crescent, and let me explain to you. I know Islam is a counterfaith in many ways to Christianity and Judaism, but Islam started as very much a religion of peace. You know, and the way things move and evolve, and the way humanity is supposed to do what we're doing, because the Tower of Babel ensured that we would be at each other's throats throughout history. That's just part of the Tower of Babel. That's the curse of Adam and Eve on humanity. Life is going to be suffering of many kinds. But Islam and the Prophet started out as a devoted movement of peace and revelation by the angel Michael, and so the archangel. So you know, it's a Jewish tradition where it comes from. So that archangel isn't a Catholic thing, it's not a Christian thing, it's a Jewish thing. All right, it comes from the Old Testament. So the linkage that we are feeling, and again, and Old Testament isn't just Old Testament. Old Testament is Sumerian myths, because Israel is a Sumerian culture. Fundamentally, it started out as a Sumerian culture, and as the family of Abraham, you know, had its babies and its families and what have you, Jacob Israel was a favorite. And not only was he a favorite, but he was a part of the nation that the Creator fawned over, that was enslaved, and so he took them out of slavery. It looks like all the other Sumerian nations, the Semitic nations, did okay, but somehow Jacob's family got themselves into slavery and prayed for freedom, and here goes God. Oh, geez, let me roll up the sleeves here. I got to go to war with one of my fellow gods who, you know, Egypt, we go back a long way, so, but the gods were warring gods, and so the God of Jacob Israel, the God of the Jews, had to go into into Egypt, and he didn't go into Egypt physically. He wasn't allowed to do that. I'm sure there was an agreement in place after the major war. The Sumerians write vociferously about it, but there is, you can tell now as the mask starts to come off, you can see some of these stories clearly. And so the God of Jacob, Israel, went to war with the God of Pharaoh, and there were 10 plagues that resulted from that. And finally, Pharaoh saw that his God was not rising to the occasion, and he just had to get rid of the nation of Israel, Jacob, Israel. And so all of the descendants of Jacob, Israel, all of the Israelis that were in Egypt went with Moses into the desert, and that's a whole long story. But there is a fine line that goes back to Samaria and the creation story, which is fantastic. But the last actual, I don't want to say actual, but the last ancient times visitation by the archangel Michael happened to the prophet. And he's called the prophet. He didn't call himself a god. He didn't call himself anything else but saying what he saw, prophesizing, making conclusions as to the things that he's been told. And part of it is the crescent, which everybody that looks at it, and it's even in the Wikipedia page, it says it's clearly not the moon. That crescent shape doesn't manifest with the moon. But it sure did manifest with Venus. And Venus has been acting awfully strange, guys. It's not me saying it. It's the whole YouTube community that is just watching the skies. And so you're bringing up a lot of information to me about that. So we have that crescent shape, and it's white. So, it's not yellow. It's a white crescent, a very healthy round crescent. And if you look at it really closely in different images, it looks like there's a planet in front of that Venus, in front of that white planet. There looks like there's a round planet. Yes, I know. You look at it more and you're like, oh my God, that is a planet in front of another planet. That is a planet in front of, it could be a sun, but you don't see the sun. But our lenses and our photography has gotten so well now, at the dawn of the 5th age, at the end of the 4th age, that the prophet left a message in the symbolism, which is when our lenses get good enough, we're able to see the planet that blocks Venus. And there is a star coming affecting Venus and that dark star, Terrell, and a shout out, that's amazing stuff. So that might be a dark star that's blocking Venus. And here we have Comet Atlas, and you have the star and the crescent of Islam. And the only thing you're missing is the other comet coming up. So that just blew me away. I look at the crescent of Islam completely differently, and the eschatology. There's over 40 conditions that the prophet wrote down that is part of the tradition of the eschatology of the end times, of the end age, the end times. It's not the end of the planet, it's not the end of the world, it's just the end of these times for the new times, when all of the ancestors come back, and it'll be marvelous time, a new age of peace. All the eschatologies say that the end of this time that we're in brings a new epoch of peace. And so the prophet also talks about this, his 40 conditions of the end times eschatologies, which they couldn't even imagine back then, is the definition of the times that we are living in now. That people will make effort to make profits rather than just make a fair barter deal. It's just there's so much into it. So I'm going to produce that video tomorrow, Saturday, and just give you all those definitions. Also, something else that really I want to get all of your attention on is the sun. I had in the live stream, it had to be 5 or 6 independent commenters, thank you so much for participating, that said the sun has moved by 15 degrees, one commenter said. And another commenter said, look, I am a sun gazer. It's what I do. It's one of my passions of my life. And she says it's in a different position and it's too bright to even gaze at. So this is so unique in all of the occurrences that we are feeling. So has the sun or earth moved? Has the earth moved? Because our magnetic field is drifting. Nothing makes sense of our magnetic field drifting, and I think it's gone by 15 degrees now. So that 15 degrees of movement of the sun to true north, and the 15 degrees movement that we've had in the movement of the magnetic fields match up. So I mean, there's some things happening here. For the final bit of roux that I have to throw into this gumbo, that's Louisiana talk. That's authentic talk right there. This gumbo is getting rich, all right? And so I'm getting it thicker and richer, and I'm adding a little more roux to it. And what's coming out of this mixture is the sudden amount of landslides that we are having. So there is a Facebook page dedicated to landslides, and the guy suddenly posted a few days ago that the amount of landslides that they're having is just, and you know, he's just falling for fun, but all of a sudden there are more, and it's noticeable what is that it is more. So you look up on Facebook if you want to, end times : giant earth cracks, at giant earth cracks on the Facebook machine. And the commenter said February 17th. You know, this is when we started noticing all this activity in the sky. February 17th, dear FB friend, there is something huge going on around the world. Giant cracks and fissures are opening up on all the continents. So this could be because there's some gravitational field interacting with our planet. Again, this is part of all the revelations that were spoken of in all of the eschatologies. Eschatologies, again, are the end times of the religions. All of the major religions speak of one. So this is a very much planned event, and there, you know, what I'm getting is I don't have a confirmation bias occurring. Is I am following the breadcrumbs that different people lay for me, and then I can see that clear path. 5 independent people that are sun noticers and sun gazers have all independently made a comment that, hey, the sun is moving, the sun is different, the sun is a different place. So that's part of the thread in our 2-hour live that we did the other night. I'm doing a live today at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, USA, Eastern Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, USA, 5 o'clock Madrid time. That's an hour from now. So hope you all tune in, and I will see you for a video shortly. Looking forward to it. This gives you time to generate some questions. So this is a lot of the material we'll be talking about. See you in a little bit. Peace.